Hello lovely students, welcome back to my YouTube channel Galib's English School. In today's video, I'm going to talk about Car Theory Test, Chapter 5, Hazard Awareness. How you need to be careful on public roads and what can be a potential hazard which can cause you an accident. It could be a pedestrian, it could be a learner driver, it could be anything, it could be an animal, it could be children. Before I start, I would like you to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon down below for all the updates. Do you need to plan rest stops when you are planning a long journey? Yes, you should plan to stop every half an hour. Yes, regular stops help concentration. No, you will be less tired if you get there as soon as possible. No, only few stops will be needed. So the correct option is yes, regular stops help concentration. So let's say if you're driving for 100 miles, 150 miles, so you should stop every hour or so. Why should you slow down as you approach this hazard? Because of approaching traffic, because of animal crossing, because of level crossing, because it's hard to see to the right. So guys, if you look at this sign here, that shows you that there is a level crossing coming up. And there is a bend in the road as well. Marking says slow down. So what you need to do, you need to slow down because of the level crossing. Why are places' names painted on the road surface? To help you select the correct lane in good time, to prevent you from changing lanes, to restrict the flow of traffic, to warn of oncoming traffic. So we have the places' names on the road because they can tell us that we can change the lane in good time. So if you see there is a marking on the road which says like M1 South or M1 North, so you can easily change the lane in correct time. Question 4. What hazard should you be aware of when traveling along this street? So if you look at this picture, it's very tight street. So what can be a potential hazard for you? Glare from the sun, lack of the road markings, children running out between the vehicles, or large goods vehicles. So the potential hazard for you could be children running out between vehicles. Especially in summertime, kids keep playing. So you need to be very careful when you drive along these very tight streets. Some two-way roads are divided into 3 lanes. Why are they particularly dangerous? Because traffic in both directions can use the middle lane to overtake. Traffic can travel faster in poor weather conditions. Traffic can overtake on the left, or traffic uses the middle lane for emergencies only. So two-way roads, sometimes they are divided into 3 lanes. There is a reason for that. Because traffic in both directions, they can use the middle lane to overtake. So the correct option is number 1. What should the driver of the gray car be especially aware of? So if you look at this picture, this gray car is just driving past these parked cars. So the driver should be aware of the uneven road surface, the traffic following behind, doors opening on the parked cars, or empty parking spaces. So he should be aware of the doors opening on the parked cars. So any driver can open the door from these parked cars and can cause a problem for this driver. What should you do if a driver pulls out of a side road in front of you, causing you to brake hard? So let's say you are leaving some space. Suddenly a driver pulls up in front of you and you have to brake hard. I'm sure every driver gets like angry. It's really frustrating. It's really annoying. You have to brake hard, but what do you need to do? Should you sound your horn to show your annoyance? Should you overtake as soon as possible, ignore the error and stay calm, flash your lights to show your annoyance? So you should stay calm and just ignore the error of that driver. So the correct option is ignore the error and stay calm. How should you drive in areas with traffic calming measures? So if we talk about traffic calming measures, So anything which slows down the traffic. It could be road humps like these, roundabouts, crossings, or any crossroads. So they are there to slow down the traffic. So the question is asking you about this particular road. How should you drive in areas with traffic calming measures? So there are road humps. How should you drive? Should you drive in the center of the road with headlights on dipped beam at a reduced speed or at a speed limit? So you should be driving at a reduced speed throughout. Where would it be unsafe to overtake? On a single carriageway, on a one-way street, approaching a junction, traveling up a long hill. So guys, when you are approaching a junction, you shouldn't overtake. What must you do at this junction? So look at this road. There is a stop sign, there is a stop marking, and there is a solid white line, and it's a T junction. It's not a crossroad, it's a T junction. What should you do? Stop only if there is traffic on the main road. Stop only if you are turning right. Stop behind the line, then edge forward to see clearly. Stop beyond the line at a point where you can see clearly. So the correct option is you should stop behind this solid white line, which is here, and then edge forward to see clearly. Then move your car a little bit carefully and slowly, doing your observation left and right, and then carry on. How would age affect an older person's driving ability? They won't be able to obtain car insurance. They will take longer to react to hazards. They won't signal at junctions. They will need glasses to read road signs. So, older drivers, they will take longer to react to hazards. So, that's your correct option. Which road user has caused a hazard? The parked car arrowed A, the pedestrian waiting to cross arrowed B, the moving car arrowed C, or the car turning arrowed D. So the hazard is the parked car arrowed A because it has parked the wrong place. If you look closely, there are zigzag lines and this driver is not supposed to park there. What type of vehicle uses an amber flashing beacon on dual carriageway? An ambulance, a fire engine, doctor on call, a tractor. So a tractor uses amber flashing light on dual carriageway because it's a slow moving vehicle. What should the driver of the car approaching the crossing do? So this driver approaching the zebra crossing, what should this driver do? Continue at the same speed, sound the horn, drive through quickly, or slow down and get ready to stop. So this driver should slow down and be ready to stop. Why are vehicle mirrors often slightly curved? They make it easier to judge the speed of the traffic behind. They make the traffic behind look bigger. They give a wider field of vision. They totally cover blind spot. So the mirrors are often slightly curved because they give you a wider field of vision. What should the driver of the red car do? This pedestrian is crossing the road. What should the driver do? Wave towards the pedestrian who are waiting to cross. Wait for pedestrian in the road to cross. Quickly drive behind the pedestrian in the road. Tell the pedestrian in the road she shouldn't have crossed. So the correct option is wait for pedestrian in the road to cross. You have just passed these warning lights. What hazard would you expect to see next? A level crossing with no barrier, an ambulance station, a school crossing patrol, or an opening bridge. When you cross these lights, you will be expecting a school crossing patrol. Question 18. You are approaching crossroads. What should you do if the traffic lights have failed? Brake and stop only for large vehicles. Brake sharply to stop before looking. Be prepared to brake sharply to a stop. Be prepared to stop for any traffic. So if traffic lights are out of order, then you should be prepared to stop for any traffic. What type of vehicle displays this yellow sign? A broken down vehicle, a school bus, an ice cream van, a private ambulance. So if you look at this sign is displayed on a school bus. What's the main hazard shown in this picture? Vehicle turning right, vehicles doing U-turns, the cyclist crossing the road, parked cars around the corner. So if you look closely at this picture, here is a cyclist and he is crossing the road from a wrong place. So the cyclist crossing the road can be a potential hazard for you. What should you do as you approach this cyclist? So if you're following this cyclist, what should you do? Try to overtake before the cyclist gets to the junction. Flash your headlights at the cyclist. Slow down and allow the cyclist to turn. Rev your engine so the cyclist knows you are following behind. So you need to slow down and allow the cyclist to turn. Question 22. What must you do if your eyesight has become very poor and you are no longer able to meet the driver's eyesight requirement? You should tell the driver licensing authority, tell your doctor, tell the police, or tell your optician. So you are supposed to inform DVLA. What's the main hazard you should be aware of when following this cyclist? The cyclist may move to the left and dismount. The cyclist may swerve into the road. The cyclist may get off and push their bicycle. The cyclist may wish to turn right at the end of the road. So if you're following this cyclist, you should be careful because the cyclist may swerve into the road. So that's your correct option. Which type of vehicle should you be ready to give way as you approach this bridge? Should you give way to bicycle? Should you give way to buses, motorcycles, or cars? So you should give way to buses as you approach this bridge. What's the main hazard the driver of the red car arrowed should be aware of? The red car driver should be aware of the glare from the sun may affect the driver's vision. The black car may stop suddenly. The bus may move out into the road, or oncoming vehicles will assume the driver is turning right. So the driver of the red car should be aware of the bus because this bus may move onto the road. So that's your correct option. Question 26. What must you do if poor health affects your driving? You should inform the local police, avoid using motorways, always drive accompanied, inform the licensing authority. So you should inform the licensing authority, DVLA. Why should you be cautious when going past this bus waiting at a bus stop? If the bus is waiting at a bus stop, you should be careful because there is a zebra crossing ahead. There are driveways on the left. People may cross the road in front of it, or the road surface will be slippery. So this bus has stopped at the bus stop, so pedestrians can cross the road anytime. So you need to be careful because people may cross the road in front of it. What should you do if the red lights start flashing as you approach a level crossing? There's a level crossing. What should you do if the red lights start flashing? Go over it quickly, go over it carefully, stop before the barrier, switch on your hazard warning lights. So you should stop before the barrier. What does this signal from a police officer mean to oncoming traffic? It means go ahead, stop, turn left, or turn right. It means stop. You're about to drive home. What should you do if you feel very tired and have a severe headache? You're very tired and you have severe headache. What should you do in this situation. Wait until you are fit and well before driving. Drive home, but take a tablet for headaches. Drive home if you can stay awake for the journey. Or wait for a short time, then drive home slowly. What you need to do, you should wait until you are fit and well before driving. So number one is your correct option. What should you expect if you see this sign ahead? The road will go steeply uphill, the road will go steeply downhill, the road will bend sharply to the left, the road will bend sharply to the right. So this sign means there is a sharp bend to the left. You are on a 3-lane motorways. How should you overtake a slow-moving lorry in the middle lane if it is showing this sign? So we always overtake from the right. But if you see this sign in the middle lane, what should you do? Cautiously approach the lorry, then overtake on either side. Follow the lorry until you can leave the motorway. Use the right-hand lane and overtake the lorry normally. Approach with care and overtake on the left of the lorry. So the correct option is you should approach with care and overtake on the left of the lorry because this sign is directing you to overtake from the left. What should you do if you become tired while you are driving on motorways? Pull up on the hard shoulder and chain drivers. Leave the motorway at the next exit and rest. Increase your speed and turn up the radio volume. Close all your windows and set the heating to warm. So what you need to do, if you are driving on the motorway and you feel tired, you should leave the motorway at the next exit and rest. So that's your correct option. Where would you expect to see these markers? On a motorway sign, on a railway bridge, on a large goods vehicle, on a diversion route sign. You will see these signs on a large goods vehicle. Why must you take great care when emerging from this junction? If you look at this road, it's a T-junction, guys. So you need to be careful. There is no crossroad. This is a T-junction. So you can only go right or left. So the road surface is very poor. The footpath is narrow. The curbs are high. The view is restricted. So on this side and this side, your view is restricted. So you will stop here, then move forward slowly, and then do your observation and then carry on, whether you want to go to right or left. So the view is restricted. You cannot see clearly. Question 36. What should you do if you start to feel drowsy while you are driving on a motorway? You should stop on the hard shoulder for a sleep, open the window and stop as soon as it's safe and legal, speed up to arrive at your destination sooner, or slow down and let other drivers overtake. You need to open a window and stop as soon as it's safe and legal. What should you do if the vehicle starts reversing off the driveway? So if you are driving along this road, the driver starts reversing, should move to the opposite side of the road, drive through as you have priority, sound your horn and be prepared to stop, speed up and drive through quickly. So you should sound your horn and be prepared to stop. What can seriously reduce your ability to concentrate? Drugs, busy roads, tinted windows, or weather condition. Drugs can seriously reduce your ability to concentrate. What should you do if the traffic in the left-hand lane is slowing? So if you look at this picture, there are signs which clearly indicate that the right-hand lane is closed. Should slow down, keeping a safe separation distance, accelerate past the vehicles in the left-hand lane, pull up on the left-hand verge, move across and continue in the right-hand lane. So you should slow down, keeping a safe separation distance because traffic from the right will be merging in the left-hand lane. 40. What can you do to help prevent tiredness on a long journey? Eat a large meal before driving, take regular refreshment breaks, play loud music in the car, complete the journey without stopping. So, you should take regular refreshment breaks, and that will help your concentration. Reverse to allow vehicles to make a U-turn, to allow vehicles to park. So if you look at this picture closely, you can see this. There is a junction clearly marked. You can see that is talking about this junction. So why should we keep this junction clear? It allows the vehicles to enter and emerge. So anybody who wants to take a turn into this side road, or anyone who wants to emerge from there. You're about to drive your car. What should you do if you cannot find the glasses you need to wear? You wear glasses, it means your eyesight is weak. You cannot see clearly. So what should you do if you don't find the glasses? You should drive home slowly, keeping to quiet roads. You should borrow a friend's glasses and use them. You should drive home at night so that lights will help you. You should find a way of getting home without driving. So the correct option is you should find a way of getting home without driving. Means you can use public transport. You can call a taxi, go by train, by bus, but you shouldn't drive. You have just been overtaken by this motorcyclist. What should you do if the rider cuts in sharply? This rider overtakes you, cuts in sharply, you should sound the horn, brake firmly, keep a safe gap, or flash your headlight. You should keep a safe gap. Which type of glasses would make your driving at night more difficult? Half moon, round, bifocal, or tinted. So tinted glasses will cause you more problem. What should the white car do when the traffic lights change to green? So if you look closely, there is a cyclist next to this white car on the left. So what should this white car driver do after the lights change? He should wait for the cyclist to pull away, move off quickly and turn in front of the cyclist, move up close to the cyclist to beat the lights, or sound their horn to warn the cyclist. So you should wait for the cyclist to pull away. So that is your correct option. How does drinking alcohol affect your driving behavior? It improves judgment skills, it increases confidence, it leads to faster reaction, or it increases concentration. So, drinking alcohol will increase your confidence. You intend to turn left at this traffic light. What should you do just before turning? Check your right mirror, move up closer to the car ahead, move out to the right, or check for bicycles on your left. So if you want to take a left turn from here, you should check for cyclists on your left. What advice should you give to a driver who has had few alcoholic drinks at a party? So if your friend has few drinks at a party, what kind of advice should you give? You should tell him or her, have a strong cup of coffee and then drive home. Drive home carefully and slowly. Go home by public transport. Wait a short while and then drive home. So if your friend has some drinks at the party, like a boozy party, so you should advise your friend that go home by public transport. That's the correct option. You are behind this cyclist. When the traffic lights change, what should you do? So if traffic light changes from red to green, you should try to move off before the cyclist. You should allow the cyclist time and room. You should turn right, but give the cyclist room. You should tap your horn and drive through first. So the correct option is you should allow the cyclist time and room. What should you do if a doctor prescribes drugs that are likely to affect your driving? So if doctor has prescribed you some medicine which can cause you drowsiness or can affect your driving, what should you do? Only drive if someone is with you, avoid driving on motorways, get someone else to drive, or never drive at more than 30 miles per hour. The correct option is you shouldn't drive, get someone else to drive. What should you do as you approach this overhead bridge? So guys, you need to check this marking on the road as well. It says high vehicle and then arrow indicates towards the center of the road. So you should move out to the center of the road before going through. You should find another road. This is only for high vehicles. You should be prepared to give way to large vehicles in the middle of the road. You should move across to the right hand side before going through. So the correct option is you should be prepared to give way to large vehicles in the middle of the road. Why should you check the information leaflet before taking any medicine? Drug companies want customer feedback on their products. You may have to let your insurance company know about the medicine. Some types of medicines can affect your ability to drive safely, or the medicine you take may affect your hearing. So the correct option is if you take any medicine, you need to check the leaflet because some types of medicine can affect your ability to drive safely. What should you do if it's raining and you are following this lorry on a motorway? So if you look closely, there's a lorry, but we can't see clearly because it's not a mist, it's like spray from the car wheels. So if the road surface is wet, then the water just starts like becoming a spray and we cannot see clearly. So what should we do? We should allow a 2-second separation gap. We should switch your headlights onto the main beam. We should move into a lane that has less spray. We should be aware of spray reducing your vision. So what you need to do, we need to be aware of the spray. So you should slow down because spray restricts your vision. You cannot see clearly. You take some cough medicine given to you by a friend. What should you do before driving your car? Ask your friend if taking the medicine affects their driving. Drink some strong coffee 1 hour before driving. Check the label to see if the medicine will affect your driving. Drive a short distance to see if the medicine is affecting your driving. So what you need to do, you need to check the label to see if this medicine will cause you drowsiness or will affect your driving, yes or no. That's your responsibility as a driver. If you take any medicine and it causes drowsiness, you shouldn't be driving on public roads. You're driving on this dual carriageway. Why may you need to slow down? So guys, if you look closely, there is a sign on the left and there is a warning sign for roadworks. So you need to slow down because there is a broken white line in the center. There are solid white lines on either side. There are roadworks ahead of you. There are no footpaths. So there is a roadwork sign on the left. So the correct option is there are roadworks ahead of you and you need to reduce your speed. When should you use hazard warning lights? When you are double parked on a two-way road, when your direction indicators aren't working, when warning oncoming traffic that you intend to stop, when your vehicle has broken down and is causing an obstruction. So you use hazard warning lights when your vehicle is causing an obstruction. So if your vehicle has broken down and causing an obstruction to other road users, you should use the hazard warning lights. You're driving on a road with several lanes. What do these signs above the lanes mean? So there are quite a few lanes on this road if you look closely. So what does it mean? The overhead signs tell you. The 2 right lanes are open. The 2 left lanes are open. Traffic in the left lane should stop. Traffic in the right lane should stop. So the traffic from the right will move to the left-hand lane. So the correct option is the 2 left lanes are open. Why should you reduce your speed here? Guys, there are two warning signs on either side of the road, and you need to check it closely. A staggered junction is ahead, a low bridge is ahead, the road surface changes ahead, the road narrows ahead. So you need to reduce your speed because there is a staggered junction ahead, a sign on this side and a sign on this side. You need to be careful. So the correct option is number 1. What will become more expensive after you have been convicted of driving while unfit through drink or drugs? Road fund license, insurance premiums, vehicle test certificate, driving license. Your insurance premium, that's the correct option, they will become more expensive if you are convicted of driving through drink or drugs. What does the solid white line at the side of the road indicate? So asking you about this sideline. So what does this sideline mean? Traffic lights ahead, edge of the carriageway, footpath on the left, or cycle path. So this line indicates it is the edge of the carriageway. So that's your correct option. So guys, this was all about chapter 5, hazard awareness, what are potential hazards on public roads. If you have any question, please drop them in the comment section below and I'll get back to you. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and thanks for watching.